we saw civil discussion, leaders of different parties face to face talking about substance, really unusual and actually not the way our system is structured. So it was President Obama coming up with one new attempt at breaking gridlock.
I do think the president deserves enormous credit for putting this on. This was an excellent discussion. He was, I thought, extremely graceful.
Did you think that the Republicans, or the Democrats for that matter, who did you think perhaps scored the most points?
I actually thought that this was a win for, it sounds cheesy, but for our country. This is when you go out into talk to folks, they want to see our leaders having a substantive discussion about ideas, and they got it.
You heard at one point President Obama say to Senator Alexander, hey, why don't you tell me what you like in the bill? And Alexander wasn't going to go near that. He just returned to an argument over process. And I have to say, if you're watching at home this past hour plus, you've got to be thinking, oh man, typical hot air from Washington politicians.
John McCain said Americans oppose the process. That was the Republican point. The president's point, let's have the substantive debate, let's look at areas of agreement. I think the president so far has managed to control or corral this argument. I was surprised at how many areas they said there is agreement. I mean, even the Republicans went through 5 or 6 areas where they said we have some agreement. All of that is to the president's favor.
But the other thing is that, you know, you are hearing a lot of the message from the Democrats talking about how Republicans have some ideas that they have adopted, and that is definitely true.
If Americans are watching today, they're going to say, well, you know, why do we start over if there are these areas of agreement?
If you sort of read into what the president said, he really delivered what looked like the beginning of the end game, his best alternative to a negotiated solution here. If we don't do something about 30 million Americans who are uninsured, and we don't do more about pre-existing conditions, well, then we'll just have to take it to the voters.